Secretary of State Colin Powell says that the U.S. is within striking distance of gaining UN support for the amended resolution on disarming Iraq. The Security Council is expected to vote on it as early as tomorrow. Pakistani military sources tell the Associated Press that the hunt for Osama bin Laden has been narrowed to a 350-mile corridor in southwestern Pakistan. The U.S. military has not confirmed any operations in the area. While the home court advantage may have helped UNC's basketball team last night, they beat old school rival Duke 82-79, ending their 3-year slump against the Blue Devils. And that is a headlines heads up. Well, TV violence can have a harmful effect even 15 years after your child watches it. It's according, anyway, to a University of Michigan study that shows exposure to excessive amounts of TV violence can put kids at a heightened risk of aggressive adult behavior, leading to spousal abuse or criminal convictions. Boys and girls were interviewed at ages 6 and 9 and then again in their early 20s. Now, one psychologist says that televised violence suggests to young children that aggression may be appropriate in some situations. That study is published in the journal Developmental Psychology. Well, the nation's overuse of antibiotics appears to be creating drug-resistant bacteria. Researchers at Harvard School of Public Health predict that 40% of the strains of a dangerous form of strep could be resistant to 2 common antibiotics by next year. That form of strep causes meningitis and pneumonia, among other things. That study is in today's online edition of the journal Nature Medicine. Former President Bill Clinton is not pleased with President Bush's economic stimulus plan. Mr. Clinton attacked the plan on CBS in a 2-minute debate with former U.S. Senator Bob Dole. Well, he says that it's bad economics to pursue a big tax cut as the U.S. plans for a potential war with Iraq.
Senator, we're approaching a $400 billion deficit, and you're the one saying either or. Either victory in Iraq and tax cuts, or Homeland Security, education, keeping Social Security and Medicare strong. Leadership is about choosing. So let's give up our tax cut.
With all due respect, Mr. President, much of our current problem can be traced to the economic hangover of the 90s. The Bush tax cut has barely kicked in. But I'll tell you what, I'll gladly donate my tax cut to a worthy charity, if you will. Maybe even to the Clinton Library.
They were back at it, huh? Clinton also says that a U.S. victory against Iraq would probably come quickly, but that the cost would send America's growing budget deficit soaring. All right, you're going to be traveling today. Let's find out how the weather's going to be treating you. It's 10 minutes to the hour, and it's still cold for many of our viewers this morning. Galen Crater is filling in for meteorologist Bob Van Dillon. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Robin, and you're right about the cold. Down here in the south, we actually had some pretty nice temperatures yesterday.
Yeah, you're starting on the big picture today.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get a little closer before we can really tell what's going on here. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's fly in, shall we? We got this stationary boundary just ahead of the cold front that came through yesterday. It's providing some isolated thunder showers for the deep south, especially down around Miami and Broward-Dade County. As you go north, you find those colder temperatures. They're in place from the mid-Atlantic all the way up through the northeast there, from Boston down to D.C. and into Philly. Very cold temperatures. Possibility of some lake effect snow around Ontario today. Mild temperatures down in the south central. As you go into the Pacific Northwest, we've got a chance of some showers from northern California all the way up through Seattle. You're going to see some snow, very likely in the Cascades and the Olympics and the Bitterroots and probably the northern western facing slopes of the northern Rockies as well. Very hot temperatures, as a matter of fact, from L.A. back in toward Phoenix, as a matter of fact, and as far back as Albuquerque, could get into the 90s today. That is pretty warm for this early in the spring. Or we're not even there yet. We're still in winter. Anyway, here's a good idea of the infusion of cold air right now. Current temperatures still in the negative double digits as you go north into Winnipeg and so forth. And it's going to be hard to get to the 30s today in these areas, I'm afraid. That's going to do it for this one. Robin, let's go back to you.
Did you say 90s for the West Coast?
Yeah, that's 90s in the Southwest. Sure is.
Hey, Galen, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The UN Security Council could make a major decision on Iraq tomorrow. That's coming up in about 8 minutes. First, though, a look at the SAG Awards. Could it be a sign as to who's going to go home with an Oscar? That's next.